Here we are. I hope you guys can hear me. I'm in a different location and I got different equipment. So if you can't hear me, let me know. I did invite a bunch of people on the night, but I think they're busy working. I had to go to California today. Me and my son ran to California today, pick up a truck. So I'm back in my beautiful trailer down in Phoenix or South Arizona. I was down in North California today, or South California today. I think it was by Ramona. I had to run over there. It's pretty country. Just a lot of people, a whole lot of people. So let me see who's on the night. Dandy on here already, blowing it up. We have Missy Fix is on. Mr. Anderson is on. Mike from North Cal. Yeah, I seen that since 2:30. I only think, I got home. We left at 1 this morning, so I'm going to be tired. We got home at, I think it was almost 3. It was almost 3 we got home. My son decided to buy a truck in California, so we ran over there and picked it up. James Myers is on. Where's all my peoples tonight? I sent out links. Maybe they're tired of me. Or maybe they're working. I should probably get a job as much money as I've been spending. Hopefully my internet's working good. Come back down here in South Arizona and sometimes it glitches. I invited a lot of people on the night. Of course, I'm always last minute when I invite people. I don't know where Brett is. Said he might jump on. If not, he's a whiny baby. Benny called me, and I don't know if he was telling me he was going to jump on or jump off. So tonight's a good night to ask some questions if you got some questions. I just wanted to talk about me and Jared. Jared will probably jump on here quick. Me and Jared were talking about he found a couple guides that were posting just kind of some crappy pictures. Tim B. You change your name, Tim, or just a different Tim? Tim B. I invited him on for a while. He actually got a hold of an outfitter or a guide that put a picture of a lion up. And the antis, they like to use anything they can to hold it against us, and they did use it. And then I think Jared found the guy and told him about it, and the guy just kind of, I'm not catering to antis, which kind of made me a little upset. It's really kind of selfish of them, but nothing you can do. And I've had plenty of conversations with other guides or hunters that are posting just crappy pictures. And that's kind of a big problem, really, because those antis will take those pictures and they'll use them. Every chance they get, they'll use them. So, but Jared did get hold of the guys and say, hey, man, like, you shouldn't do that. And you get the typical answer from a lot of these people, even that I talk to. It's like, First Amendment and blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, in the end, the thing about the picture the guy posted is the lion had been shot, and you can see, like, it had been shot in the shoulder, and he had dogs baying up on it, and he's trying to sell hunts. So, I mean, it's not just the antis that are whining, and those are whining too. I've been on a few lives. There's a gal on TikTok. Her name is Sarah, and she goes on live. And, man, she just, you don't understand. You really don't understand how these people think. It's really kind of crazy. So, but they do. They think the way they do, and no matter what you say, no matter what facts you give them, it's crazy. It really is crazy. Tim, you want to come on? I bet you can talk some smack about it. Let me send you a link if I can find you. I know you've sent me plenty of stuff. They do guess, and it's all about their feelings, and that's what kind of sucks about it. Is it's about their feelings. Trying to find you real quick, Jim. Oh, you send me emails. You just send me let me go to my email. I'll send you a link on your email. But they use their feelings. They have no clue what they're talking about half the time. Timothy Brink. I'm going to reply to you, Tim. If I can figure it out. Hang on. Give me a second, guys. Reply. I'll send you a link, Tim. I got to resave the link. Give me a second. All my other people failed me. Paste. There you go. Peter, hello from Southwest Colorado. You know, gonna need your old man glasses on. Need to kick that guy off, that Watson kid. You know, a lot of this has been an eye opener with Colorado as well, because I don't know if they're gonna get that bad or not. Dandy's here. He was here. I ought to send you a link. You could give us some 2 cents too, Jeremy. You want to come on, Jeremiah? Let me just start sending links out. Anybody who wants to jump on, I'll let you come on and talk about whiny babies. I think I do have you, Jeremiah. Don't you? Didn't you? Let me see. I'm looking. I'm not squinting because I can't see. Thought I had you in there. Jeremiah. What? You go by a different name. Where are you at? Where you at, PJ? Jeremiah's over there in Jeremiah's over there in Colorado as well. Daniel Wiggin. I knew Jeremy was doing nothing but sitting around. It ain't dark enough to go hunt yet.
Yeah, it's dark enough here.
Is it?
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Jeremiah, Dandy got on at like 2:30. I think.
I was picking on Missy the other night. I said, "Dadgum, what time do you get here? 4?"
Man, I just got home at 3 from California, so did 80 miles in and 80 miles out.
What'd you go to California for?
My son bought a truck,
Okay.
So we went back, picked it up. It's a 76 or Dodge Dually 4-door. So, and he was going to take his truck, and he says it'll make it. He'll probably type it'll make it, but it ain't going to make it at 80 miles an hour. I had to unload all my stuff. I have a box of bullets, huge box of bullets and magazines, and I had to take my AK. I just didn't want to get caught in none of my crap.
Well, did you get arrested? Did you arrest yourself?
Oh no, I made it out before I did. So let's see. No, Jeremy. Usually about 10. So the computer.
I know how that is.
will make it faster than your Tundra. Waste as much oil too. Them Cummins burn it. Talking about whiny baby hunters and whiny baby antis. I don't know where Jared is, but he was talking to a guy and kind of told the dude, hey, posting a bloody picture of a lion and trying to sell a hunt with hounds around it, just like ammo. And guy just came back and said, I don't cater to antis. But he will cater to them when they shut it down.
Well, every time you do something like that, you do cater to them.
Oh, every time. And they don't realize.
The way we teach it in Hunter's Ed is you got to remember that there may be a school bus full of little kids sitting there looking at that. You know, if you like, you know, talking about displaying dead animals in trucks and stuff. And you may change that whole busload of kids' minds, that Disney effect.
Well, it takes one little girl screaming, get everybody else screaming.
Right.
And then everybody else will remember that, you know. So, first impressions, what it's about. I don't know where everybody went. They're all, maybe they went home, took a nap. I should have came home, took a nap, but I didn't. I came home. My dad decided to load some pigs up at 4 o'clock, and one of them loaded up, and the other one decided he didn't want to load up.
And I loaded some pigs up the other night.
Yeah. These are supposed to be tame pigs, and they weren't being very tame. So
these weren't either.
Hello from Northeast Kansas. But other than that, man, I just been on the internet trolling a little bit, man, and I don't know who's worse, the antis or the hunter.
Well, we are our worst enemy.
Man, even hunters get their feelings hurt. It's like you can't calm down right now. You can't just not post some pictures or post some respectful pictures or not talk about whacking and stacking them, you know. Start a private group for that.
Right.
Weed out the ones you think aren't antis, because those antis, they infiltrate just like we infiltrate. But they got more time to stalk us all day long when we're at work. You know?
Yeah, most of them are jobless.
Had enough snow this morning to cut a track. Colorado doesn't open for a month. Well, at least you know where they're traveling.
When's the snow happening out there?
What is it?
When does it snow out there where you're at?
Sometimes before tomorrow, Halloween, and sometimes not till January. Man, it's been warm up there. I think this week is let me see. 55 today, 63 is the high tomorrow, 66, 62. Sunday and Monday is supposed to be cloudy, and it drops down to 46 degrees for the high.
Well, it's been in the high 40s in the mornings and 95 in the evenings here, so not much different. And dry. Man, is it bad dusty here.
Yeah.
All of our dirt's going to Arkansas. Blowing away.
You hear my neighbor's donkeys?
I hear something.
Yeah, they're getting it over there. People do have to brag, and I'm telling you right now, that's just killing us. You know, I don't get it. You know, you gotta pull that testosterone back a little bit, and you know, kind of be smart about it. It's getting kind of bad.
Yeah, brag in private.
Brag in private. Send your friends the pictures. Don't post them on the internet. Even I seen some people the other day that posted something where they shot a lion and it jumped out of the tree and took off running. And the dog went after it. And it'll be something else you'll see on, it'll be something else you see on a post. So, I mean, what else do you do?
Yep. And there's a lot of folks you can't talk to, make them understand where you're coming from without getting in their feelings.
No, they do get their feelings hurt really bad. And then, of course, when you talk to an anti, it's no better. I think it's almost easier to talk to an anti-hunter than it is a hunter sometimes.
Yeah.
Try to explain. They're not going to listen either way. But you can still try to explain to them. But
we don't have as much of it down here as y'all do.
Why is that?
I don't know, because the people that don't hunt around here, I mean, let me rephrase that. In your big cities, like Baton Rouge, New Orleans, yes, you have that. But everywhere else, they're like, we don't care, Most of them, hey, bring me a deer if you get an extra,
What's your big cities there that if they wanted to, they could get signatures?
Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, Lake Charles.
And that's kind of where all the yuppies live?
They're more in New Orleans than anywhere.
You get a lot of people from out of state?
Not really.
I think that's the problem in a lot of these states, like Colorado, New Mexico, Texas, Arizona. You get a lot of people out of the states.
Well, most of our out-of-state persons they're generally either going to Bourbon Street, fishing, or coming for duck hunting, which our duck hunting hadn't been great since the early 2000s. So that's kind of moved on. But
What like the fly pattern change?
The farming aspect of it changed. The way people farm. They don't leave anything. Ducks can't eat dirt clods. And then the winters don't get as cold as they did. I can't remember the last real cold winter we had. Aside from ice storms.
I heard Arizona's full of immigrants. You heard right. But it's been full of immigrants.
I was an immigrant there for a week.
In Colorado, if you own an Airbnb, you get an extra ballot. I don't doubt that. Didn't the Supreme Court just say you don't have to have a basically social security number or be a citizen to vote? And then they said, no, that's not true. And then they came back, and I don't watch the news. I get down here to my dad's and he watches the news.
Yeah, I found out about it at work.
I don't know. I don't think if you're a citizen, you should get to vote or collect any kind of welfare either. But who am I?
No. Of course, I know. I've got some other feelings about that too. But I think if you're able-bodied, you ought to be able to work.
Well, I know a lot of a few group of people that know how to get I call it the crazy check, where they'll get $900 to $1,000 a month to go in there and talk to themselves and get a crazy check. And then they go to the doctor and they get their crazy pills and they sell their crazy pills on the black market, and so on and so on.
That's how they tell me the secret to that. one time on how to get a crazy check, but I don't think we can discuss it on your channel.
See, Troy, I just early voted, and one thing on there was about voting and having to be a citizen and resident of the state you're voting in. I think that was, where was that at? New York or Florida or maybe Pennsylvania? Shoot, I don't know.
One of those sanctuary states.
Jeremy, you didn't know that welfare is considered an income now. That's probably pretty true.
Well, that's government-controlled slavery.
Well, income tax is government-controlled slavery. South Carolina. Yeah. No, it's you know, when you think that the hunters are supposed to be the responsible ones, you know, and I watch some of these lives and I see some of these comments, or I get on some of these sites like Mountain Lion sighting site, and some of them guys just make themselves look stupid, you know.
Yeah, I think I have a bad disposition for going on sites like that because I deal with it every day. And we've got some stuff going on in our little town right now that everybody's got an answer, but nobody wants to volunteer to help.
That's fact.
Yeah. And then when you do find an answer, they fuss about it. So,
well, a lot of people don't, you know, like I started that Arizona Working Dog Alliance, and, you know, how many people are going to want to step up and do it, or how many people are going to want to donate money to do it? You know, it's going to cost me about $1,500 just to get all the tax stuff going, you know?
Yeah. So how far along are you on that?
Probably going to have to pay for it here in the next month. He'll be ready. There's Brett. Brett's sitting at home in his underwear, I think.
Cheaters.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to come out there and grab him and Benny and get them to teach me how to hunt in the snow.
I sent Brett. I think I sent. I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, I did. I sent Brett naked. That'll ruin the show. That'll ruin the show real quick.
We've already seen his white legs.
Just the thought of that ruined the show. I think I might shut it down. 23 minutes, 22 seconds shut down because of Brett naked.
Nudity. You'll have to put a caption on this one. You know, caution.
Censor.
Nudity.
There's my wife. Making sure I'm behaving. Make sure I'm not smoking a cigar. I tell her it's AI, and then I go in the house and it's she can smell it on me. So, but I'm not home right now. I stayed here to do a live, and I'll get up early in the morning. Tow that truck back up to Sholo.
So where are you at tonight?
Down in Phoenix, South Arizona. Close. Can't make it. Sorry, would like to, but gotta go to bed and hop shoot a line again tomorrow. That's why
we're waiting on a video, Brett.
Yeah, that's why he's not a coon hunter. He's going to bed at 6:30 over there.
Boy, I'm gonna tell you. And the last video I posted, I didn't put half. Well, I didn't film half of it, and as a matter of fact, I forgot I even had my camera half the time, and it was crazy. There for a minute, it was pretty heated.
Man, I don't. Man, who's trying to? Got some notification. Oh, Benny, I sent you a link. I think. I hope. Should have went through. Let me double check. Yep, it went through. Got to put jammies on. Oh, how cute. He has a onesie.
And hey, I wonder if he's wearing them adult diapers with it though. Reverting back to his childhood.
Yep. Jeremiah says if you want to go play in the snow, come help him collar some cats this winter.
Where's he at? Colorado?
Colorado. Mm-hmm.
I've collared bears before.
There's Benny Dog.
He heard me talking bad about him.
Dog barking.
It's that snow deal. I had to get on and warm up.
We know you got some tracks for that razor.
Yeah.
I've never used them. Of course, I haven't used a razor or a side by side, but I heard they're pretty handy.
I know they're pretty awesome down here in the mud.
I was going to ask you, a lot of people use them down there in that swamp?
Not really. A place I hunted, the Corps of Engineers used to use it as a road building playground, I guess. And they bring the Army engineers in, and they'd build roads, so your roads would change on a nightly basis. And they had an 80s model Suburban with tracks and an Arctic Cat ATV with tracks. You didn't follow the Arctic Cat because our mud will dry up in the summer, but it'll still be no bottom. It'll have cracks, like an inch wide, and they look like they're 4 foot deep, but it is 4 foot deep. There's no bottom in it. And that Arctic Cat would float across it and just leave a pretty little track. Yeah, you'll sink.
You go across it and it just drops?
It's sticky. It sticks you. And the more you move, it's like that quicksand you see on TV.
Yep. Benny, why are hunters so whiny?
I think he's muted.
Yeah, you're quiet, Benny. Did it come unplugged?
How's that?
There you go.
I can hear you now.
This fancy contraption you put in the mail, it has a mute button I didn't know about.
Oh.
I think it's just human nature. People are never satisfied. They always think that they're getting the short end of something. And, realistically, no matter how bad it is, it could always be worse.
Yeah. Well, you got the one guy who says, I'm not going to cater to antis, but if they pull that vote off, he'll be catering to antis because he can't hunt no more. All these guys saying they're going to be an outlaw. There ain't a whole lot of them that's going to actually be an outlaw.
Most people don't have enough sand to be an outlaw because they can't keep their yappers shut.
Yeah. Or their phones off. Can't leave their phones
Yeah,
at
they
home.
got to have their phone with them just in case. Mm-hmm. They didn't grow up where the phone was down there at the gas station 40 miles away, or you left it hooked to the wall in the house. There's all kinds of different scenarios, but when it comes right down to it, everybody wants somebody with them, and whoever you got with you, maybe they like to talk. Just throw a little snippet out there.
That's how my cousin got caught.
And last time I was over at Logan, New Mexico, I don't know if I was there 2 or 3 days, but there were three lions in this canyon, and the dogs caught a big old tom, and everybody in town knew that we caught that tom. Wesley, I think Wesley's mom tagged that lion, and they took it to Colorado to get it taxidermied, but everybody knew. And I had 5 dogs that really needed to go to the vet pretty bad. And in the morning, Wesley asked me, so what are you doing? I said, I'm loading up, going to the vet and going home. He said, you don't want to catch those other 2 lions? I said, nope. I said, by the time the word gets out, even if it's a month down the road, and the game wardens, everybody knows I'm here and everybody knows that there's more lions, and they're not expecting me to go home. So when everybody starts asking questions, I pulled out and I got vet bills. I can prove where I was.
Yeah.
People don't think that way.
No. Well, I was just telling Jeremy, I don't know what's worse, the hunters or the antis, you know. Oh, there's Jared. There's Jared who decided to show up.
Well, my wife had to make money, so I had to let her be on the phone first.
Oh.
And he's making you drive.
And I'm making her drive.
Oh, this is your perfect opportunity. You could be her little helper. Tell her
That's
when
right,
there's a
yep.
car coming the other way, or she needs to stop or slow down for a stop sign, and watch out for that damn rabbit on the side of the road. He could cause you $1,200 worth of damage to the front of your car.
That's right.
They may get pulled over. You may get mistaken for an illegal
That's right.
or
That's
migrant. Excuse me.
I finally got my drug run on. Shoot, we got down to 45 last night. I had to wear it to work.
I left Phoenix and it was 50, 54. We got into California, started climbing that summit there, and got down to like 35. Got in over to Ramona or whatever that is, and it was like 35 degrees. There was ice on the guy's window over there.
Oh, man.
So,
Jared, is that your first wife?
Yeah. For
No
now.
comment from her.
for now,
Thank goodness. So,
Watch what you say.
We'll have a domestic here in a minute.
it looks like she
Yeah.
could brake check you and you'll hit that dash too.
yeah, that could
You might want
happen.
to put your seatbelt on. I was telling about your little buddy there that likes to post bloody pictures with hounds.
Oh, that retard.
Yep.
He's not even from the West. He's from Michigan.
And he's
Oh.
trying to sell hunts like in Colorado and stuff, ain't he?
Yeah. So I messaged him to give him a heads up. Hey, dude.
Uh-oh. There goes our... He's
I don't
frozen
know
up
if
on
you
us.
guys saw- Oh, there you are. But he's got a lot of
You breaking up on you guys too?
Yeah.
Yes.
the exit on the other side, and he's got a picture of it. And it's like, dude, that's like, you're not a hero. And that's how he's coming across, is I'm this big old lion taming hero. And I messaged him about it, and he said, I don't cater to antis. And I'm just like, I didn't even argue with him back, because I'm just like, you don't.
No, he just feeds them more ammo.
You're breaking up real bad, Jeremy. Cass River Ranch says not all Michiganders are bad.
Well, everyone needs to go to that guy's house and punch him in the face.
So basically, we missed some of that, but what he did is he posted a picture of a lion with a bullet hole in him on his shoulder and had his hounds barking at it and trying to sell a hunt off of it. And then you actually confronted him about it, and he kind of just blew you off. So,
Yep.
said he's not catering,
And
he's not going to cater to antis.
Yeah.
But you don't need to give them gas to burn their house down.
No.
Hell, he just drove the whole
absolutely, you're
fuel
right.
truck.
And if you're a guide and outfitter, you don't need to advertise. Very few outfitters even advertise anymore because everything's word of mouth to them.
Their clients bring someone else.
Yeah. Well,
If you're a good
like
guide.
Steve. Yeah. I just got done talking to a buddy the other day, and he told me Steve Biggerstaff's booked out 3 years.
Yep. And he's not posting
doesn't
pictures of
advertise.
bloody stuff.
Well, somebody told me not to get with Jared because Jared would kill me. So
He will.
No.
Listen, just
It's
follow
fun.
his tracks. He'll be back for you. As long as
It's
the
not
dogs
too
keep
bad.
it treated, you're okay.
Yep.
I had an outfitter with me. I was interviewing for guiding hunters, and my son was with me. And I said, "Hey, you guys, the dog's got this lion jumped, and I got to go. So you guys just take your time and ease along. Justin, you follow my horse tracks. You guys come along, and I get to the tree and everything's good. Then I'll come back looking for you. But you guys just kind of keep plodding along." And I think that's all you got to do is just everybody looks after each other, and you can. Jeremy, you don't have to worry. Jared will come back and hunt you down if you can read a little bit of sign.
I can find my
Yep.
way around.
I put tracking collars on their backpacks.
Just put one of your collars on Jared, Jeremy. You'd be all right.
Every
Shot
now and then, I'll make her tag along because she knows how to read a handheld. For some reason, you give a client a handheld, and be like, "Hey, this tells you where the dogs are at. Just don't go to the maps. Just follow the arrows. That's all you got to do. You go to the maps, you'll end up in China. Just follow the arrows," and they always screw it up. So I make her come with every now and then. And one time, we had this guy out, and he was a bigger guy from Minnesota. And we're going up this nasty steep ledge, and hands and knees crawling. And the dogs are marking treat in the bottom on the other side, and I'm yelling at her, and I'm like, "Hurry the F up! We gotta go!" And
Not to mention, I'm ledged up in shell rock, holding onto a tree for dear life before I fall 30 feet, and I'm getting screwed at.
yeah, it was a tight spot. It wasn't a good spot. But I'm yelling at her to hurry the F up. And then I get everyone to the top, and we go down, and we do what we had to do at the bottom. And we get back to the truck, and the client, he drove his own truck out. And we get back to the truck, and she was all, "You don't have to yell at me like that in front of everyone." And I was just like, "No, I can yell at you to hurry up. I can't yell at him to hurry up. If I yell at you to hurry up and he's behind you, I hope he just does the math and hurries up himself."
Troy wants to know if you're rich or something, Jared.
No.
Can't you tell by his sweater?
Yeah.
He found that out there on the border.
Hey, I've seen something like that, and John will take that and wear it.
Absolutely. You can buy these at the
Nah.
gas station for like $15 down here, and they're the best sweaters to wreck on the mountain.
Yeah, just don't use a grinder or cutter with them.
Yeah,
They
Yeah.
don't last very long. I burn all mine up.
Yep,
Troy said you married up, Jared.
I did.
Yep. As long
Yep.
it don't matter if you know you married up. It's a matter if she knows she married down.
They have lower standards.
Yep.
I'm
It worked out.
pretty sure the way the vote goes, we get the season. I already bought the tag. Yeah, you guys, it won't go into effect till next year, I imagine.
Yep. But dude, that mountain lion sighting page, it's pretty heavily filled with pro lion hunting guys.
Yeah, but all of those retards that get on there and come up with all that fake truth and everything that vote yes and It
I
just makes me
listen.
want to break dance. I just want to break dance.
I
Yep.
I sent Jared. Jared had found this. Well, actually, my cousin found this lady, and he sends it to me every time she goes live. And she's yes on Prop 127. And I was on there last night, and oh man, just her theories of how the apex predator will take care of itself, and it's just like, dang, it does take care of itself at the expense of a lot of other prey, and you know.
Oh yeah. She was getting hammered in the comments though.
Did you see?
She was getting
Did you see my kids and puppies on that page? She did. She was getting hammered.
yes.
Mike's right. That site, that mountain lion. So that site started out as just pictures of mountain lions out in the wilderness or in your yard, and one person posted yes on 127, and that thing blew up.
Yep.
I told one gal that she had cranial rectitis, and she came back and told me that she said that she'd been on, I don't know how many, 13 lions that were tagged, and her husband was on 41, and they were science and blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking, BS. And even if that's the case, you know, under what circumstances? I just had at breakfast last Sunday, I talked to the original lion study guy, Harley Shaw in Arizona. You know, all these bleeding heart morons. And they're all from the big city and they all know more than everybody out in the country.
Yep.
Well,
And
that
it's
Sarah on TikTok, I think it's Sarah, or she
mhm.
and she talks about how cats have, the cats aren't trophies, people have biologists, and I'm just like, oh, yeah,
Well,
they
you know,
do. But
you hear the antis talk like California only killed 15 mountain lions last year. Well, that's because California put in 2020 or 2022, California put into effect there's a 3-strike law before it turns into a depredation. So that lion literally has to go and kill your goats 3 times now before they do a depredation. Before that went into effect, they were killing 20 goats a year out of this one county. Now that they're going, it's over almost to 100 goats a year within a matter of 2 years, 3 years. It went from
and
20 plus other animals. I'm just saying the goat
so
number.
so when all those three strikes are up here in the next year or two, there's going to be a mass collection of dead bodies.
If they got to keep the tag numbers right, who knows? Depends on
Yeah, the rules change. The rules are constantly changing.
Well, they're
just
trying
like,
to appease.
yeah, just like the grizzly bears in Montana and Wyoming, the problem bears. They're like, oh no, we killed that bear, and they'll catch him and haul him, and all they'll do is catch him and haul him away, and then the bear will be back in 2 months, not even a week.
Mm-hmm.
That's
But
how they
this
keep
is
the
a different
numbers
bear.
up.
Yeah, this is a different bear. This one has a different ear number when it's actually the same bear, just with a different ear tag.
Well, they used to, on the nuisance, they'd put a ear tag in one ear, and then they get caught again, the ear tag in the other ear, and when they get caught again, there's no more ear tags.
Yep. That's how it should be, but you get these bleeding heart people that turn into biologists because they want to fix the world, and this is what we get.
Well, it's all about enforcing their agenda onto us.
Yep.
Well, then you get the people like cats, cats aren't trophies, that hire a biologist, and obviously his numbers are they're paying the bill. So he's not gonna come and say, no, they're right. you know.
No, and what kind
Yeah.
of biologists do they hire? I mean, there's all sorts of biologists.
Mm-hmm. What are their credentials and what studies are they doing in that? When they hire them, a year ago, or has it been
And how
someone who's
much?
been doing it for 6 years in the same state?
And something
They
that makes
they have a
a
bunch of
world of
different.
difference. What? How much field time do they have?
They've got a
Thousand
Mr.
questions.
Rogers wannabe.
Oh, did you see that?
Yeah, I
wonder
watched
if I
part
can-
of it.
Let me see if I can
text you and
send
said,
that.
why do you want to piss somebody off first thing in the morning? I'm already mad because I have to work.
I said, what pissed me off? Why do I got to be the only one? Let me find it. I sent it to Jared too.
I was
Kind of
worried,
creepy.
Jared. I could tell that you weren't driving anywhere. I thought maybe his first wife jumped out and left him at an intersection, but they're going again.
Not yet.
I'd make him jump out before me.
Yeah. She doesn't argue about driving this pickup.
It'd be different
Let me see if I can.
Did you see what
Jared,
they're doing?
I don't want to post this video on. What is it?
Did you see what Katz is trying to do in Arizona? I think Jim Ball's real on it. I think that's his name. The Trapper.
Oh, I seen he posted something.
About the Jaguar. So you there?
What? I'm trying to find a.
Oh. So Jim.
I can hear you. Yeah,
Okay. So Jim.
I was trying to get that load.
Posted this picture up, and it's gonna be the anti-hunters using the Jaguar like the Trojan war horse to stop lion hunting in southern Arizona at the least, if not the whole state.
He's freezing up on us, don't he? There you go. You're back. I think.
Me?
Yeah. Let me see if I can pull that up. I was trying to pull that other video up. No, I was trying to pull that video up of that Mr. Rogers kind of creepy guy.
Oh.
He was trying to be real cute, wasn't he?
He was. Let me see if I can do it. I'm trying to send it to my email because it's. Oh, you know what? No. I was gonna say I could try to get it on my. I might have it on my Facebook, on my computer. I just got to find out where it is. Let me see who sent it to me. And what was the Jim Ball? What was he talking about on that? You remember?
So, you know, they
Jared?
started talking about how the southern units in Arizona can hold a quota up to 100 Jaguars in southern Arizona. Is the capacity of Jaguars we can hold in southern Arizona. But they're going to use that like a Trojan war horse
That's
to
a
stop
lot.
lion hunting. Oh, yeah. And it's not going to happen. We get young traveling toms, you know, or even old toms, Jaguars in southern Arizona don't have breeding females.
Well, if they find what happens when they find a breeding female, Benny?
If they find a breeding female,
If they find a female, I mean, what is that? What would that do? That shut down a lot of stuff in southern Arizona.
It shuts down the whole state. There will be no more ranching. There will be no more farming. There will be no more hound hunting. There will be no more. There won't be anything. And all they're looking for is that one female. And it doesn't have to, they've shown all these males. And realistically, people are not doing themselves any favor when they catch a jaguar and they talk about it, or when they have one on their trail camera and they share it. They think it's cool, and I get that. But they're not doing anyone any favors. Warner Glenn told me personally that he regrets ever turning in that first jaguar because of the scrutiny it's brought to his part of the world.
I've heard him say that on an interview somewhere.
Right. Let me play this. Let me play this Mr. Rogers thing. Let me share screen. Share screen. Window. I think it's this one.
They're going to use that Jaguar for a Trojan war horse to stop all hound hunting in southern Arizona, or the whole state, like what Benny was saying.
Ready? Uh-oh. I have no sound. Oh, hang on. I got it. How you like that? How you like that?
When I welded in the oil field, one of the guys that I did a lot of work for lives down the road here, an hour away. He said, my wife really likes you, but she struggles because you hunt mountain lion. I said, what's a lion to her? He said she loves cats, and a lion's just a big cat. And so every single cat needs to be left alone. And when I couldn't argue with that kind of mentality. I can't say, well, this or that or the other. So she loves cats and she doesn't like what I do. So we won't talk about it and we'll try to get along. But that's not the way everybody is anymore. They have to stuff their agenda has to get stuffed down your throat. So,
What happens when one of her cats gets eaten by mountain lion or coyote?
Hey, let me get this phone call. I'll be back in a minute.
All right.
Okay. And everyone loves mountain lions, coyotes, and wolves until their dog, their cat, their horse, their mini pony. Then someone's got to come handle this guy because he's not doing it,
Well, why aren't we is it petty to make a video the same way? Is it petty to make a video like that says this is cats? They don't want us to kill mountain lions. This is how many mountain lions are killed or harvested when there's tags. This is how many mountain lions are killed without hunters being able to hunt them, and then do a big pile of mountain lions. I don't know.
This is when the hunters do it. This is when the state does it.
You know,
Yep.
that's what you probably would be. And good luck getting a picture of a depredation lion, you know, because
AI.
it's just an ugly. There you go. Because it's just an ugly scene. I mean, you shoot the lion and you leave it. You know, some states require you to bring the head and hide in for science. And all they do for the science part, all they do is pull a tooth and then they burn the head and the hide. They take a measurement off the length, they pull a tooth for age, and then they burn the head and hide. On the mountain or rock.
Yep. And they have to know this.
Or in
they know
Arizona.
This. What is it about Arizona?
Oh, Arizona, you do a depredation lion, you just stick your knife in the hide and you go from the tip of his nose all the way to his tail and do a bunch of, and you just rip that hide up to nothing, so nothing's usable for someone to use it for, and you leave it.
I think a game
The
of
point is
fish
you're
can
not
handle
just out there killing lions, they kill them.
Either way, the lion, the numbers are going to be there. If they can find all these little videos of all these people killing lions so cruelly, why can't they find proof that even after there's no hunting, that the lions are going to be killed anyways? Because they don't want to believe it. They just don't want us to do it. They don't care as long as it ain't the free-willing public.
Well, I think what it is they don't. When the government does it, you don't see about it, you don't hear about it. So it's out of sight, out of mind to them. They get to pat themselves on the back. We saved the mountain lion when all they did was save nothing. Just no more pictures are going to be posted on the internet of a lion dying.
That's all it is. There's no social media. There's no social media about it. They really think they win. Wayne thinks he won in California, but he hasn't saved nothing. Nothing at all.
No. And California in 10 years might not have any animals anymore to begin with because of it. Because they only have 500,000 deer. I've said this 1,000 times. They only have 500,000 deer. They have 4,500 to 6,000 mountain lions, 65,000 bears, and 500,000 coyotes. And I don't know how many bobcats. How's a deer supposed to live with that many predators?
Well, and I also don't think that these antis realize that the bobcats, how many deer they kill as well.
And you also got to add bad winters and just Mother Nature in general.
Yep. Absolutely.
Well,
they had a massive die-off in 2017 out Bishop, California. 300, this herd of mule deer were migrating. Like 300 of them went off a ledge. Just like they just followed one after another. In a snowstorm and a blizzard in the Sierra.
Great shed hunting.
Yeah, there's a lot of shed hunting going on after that up in that canyon.
Oh, I bet. Deadheads?
Yep. And it just sucks because they're not managing their predators. They put their predators on a pedestal
And you know what's
everything's suffering because of it.
Have you heard the biologist that was following? What was he following? He was following wolves, I believe, and then he was on the Joe Rogan show, and then he ended up following the lions, watching the lions kill 2-3 times as much, 5 or 6, 7 kills, and caching them away, hiding them away, so the wolves would find those, so the lion could actually eat. So the lion was killing more because the wolves were eating everything. Yeah. You know, they don't think about that.
Donnie Vincent. Yep, that was Donnie Vincent in British Columbia that did that.
Yep.
And that was a 3-year-old Tom in British Columbia. A 3-year-old Tom and weighed 208 pounds.
God dang.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Too small for me.
It's a big Tom. That big old Tom could kill whatever he wanted to, whenever he wanted.
Oh, he was a 6'6", 240-pound linebacker at 16 years old. You know, he could do whatever he wanted.
Yep. Well, I mean, how do you talk to either of these people?
Well,
how do you get it through a hunter's head not to be stupid?
Well, remember like that Tabitha girl?
Yeah.
That I was messaging? After 3 days of arguing with her, she finally told me that she is for hounds, for capturing and relocating lions.
She still just didn't want to kill them?
She just cannot concept killing of predators. But she is for the use of hounds over traps. Because you catch a lion in a leg hold or whatever, you know, they'll hurt themselves in a snare or a leg hold.
A snare will kill them.
Well, they make foot snares too.
Yeah.
But, you know, that doesn't work for the lion. I mean, it's way healthier and safer for the lion to be caught and put up a tree than it is to have a snare or a leg hold on his leg where he could rip his shoulder apart, hind leg, whatever.
Well, cats are very, very delicate.
Yep.
Even a mountain lion. I mean, hell, even a tiger. They're delicate compared to, you know, the canines, the ungulates. They're delicate.
Yep. Yep. You know, that's another. Here's a weird fact for mountain lions. My wife just brought it up. But cats have a vein on the outside of their neck that goes to their brain.
Yeah.
Dogs, it's in their muscle tissue. That's why you can choke a cat out with a choke stick in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, they're just more delicate. They ain't as tough as a hound dog, that's for sure.
No.
But if they knew how strong they were.
What'd she say over there?
Oh, she was saying, if a lion actually knew how strong he was, hounds would be in trouble, which is true. That's why we always run I always try to run 3 to 10. I never try to go catch a lion with one dog.
Not on purpose.
Not on purpose. Well, it's just, you know, lions when you catch a lion on a rock ledge or on the ground, and you got 8 dogs on them, and the dogs keep their distance, they just don't go in there like terrorists. And they come and surround that lion. That lion will sit there and he'll swat blindly or he'll just sit there and not move at all because he's just overwhelmed by all the noise and the chaos and the motion going on in his brain that he can't concept of everything going on at once.
Yeah.
There's too much of a threat.
Yep.
So if he sits there quietly and acting like he's got some manners, then he don't get chewed on.
Well, how did somebody become, how does somebody become proactive in spreading the information to people? I mean, it's hard enough doing it to the anti-hunters, but damn, the hunters, man.
Yeah.
That drives me crazy.
Well,
that guy telling you that kind of drove me a little bit insane today.
Well, iron sharpens iron. You got to be the guy that does the good example.
Yeah. I saw a post today on that Jaguar post. A guy commented, yeah, let's do whatever with the Jaguar, and then maybe we'll have a huntable population. That's never
there's no
happen.
way. There's
That's
no
never
way.
gonna happen.
You'll see hound hunting in California for mountain lions before you see that.
Absolutely. And, that's a way they could try to trick the public, is saying, we will bring hound hunting back as soon as there's a huntable population of jaguars in the southern border.
Yeah.
And we'll never reach that.
Yeah, so let's not trap and let's not do this or that. Let's give them a little chance. You know, they've been gone for a while. We get a couple that straggle up through here, which, just like a lion that lives in globes is going to show up in Superior every once in a while, or even as high, San Carlos.
But we're not. The days of the jaguar coming and living in Arizona are gone. There's too many highway corridors and everything else. Plus, the ranchers are still killing the jaguars in Mexico.
And not in a humane way.
I mean, they're poisoning them, they're roping, snaring them, whatever. They do not care. They're eating their cows.
How's the jaguar going to migrate to California with all those lions? What do you feel about that? Oh, I got him muted. Hang on. What do you feel about a jaguar coming into lion country?
It's not going to slow a jaguar down. They're twice as big as a lion.
Yeah, they're the apex predator.
They're built like a pit bull.
So you think if a lion came into an area, it pushed them, or a jaguar come into a certain area, the lions would leave?
I don't know if they'd leave, but if they ran into each other, the lion would end up dead.
I'd love to just see the reaction, what happens when those guys crossed. I'd love to just see the reaction.
Well, the jaguar is the definition of what your wife just said. He knows how strong he is.
Yep. And,
Yeah,
I'm guessing,
all these predators live together to a certain extent. The wolves are hard on lions because the wolves will take a lion's kill away. And so the lions try to leave out of the country when the wolves are there. But as far as the jaguars, yeah,
to leave other meals to keep the wolf off of them too. So they do adapt. You're right.
But the jaguars they're just different animals. It's not like they're going to go in there and eat the lions.
I'm guessing it'd be like watching a big guy walk into a bar. You just don't go and talk to him.
You don't go up and punch him in his face, that's for sure.
Yeah. So you stay in your corner, I'll stay in my corner. You come in my corner, I'll walk around to your corner.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we'll ever have, just because we're getting a couple sightings, you know, that could be the only sighting you see of that one, and he goes right back to Mexico.
Yeah. Well,
I
I
don't
was
think the
talking.
females are going to travel. If the males are traveling, there's probably too many males in an area, and they're getting pushed out.
Absolutely. Well, you got to remember, they're still a cat, and they like to travel. That's how that lion ended up getting ran over in New Hampshire. He was collared and tagged in South Dakota, and he ended up getting hit by a car in New Hampshire as a 3-year-old, 2-year-old.
I need to find out. Should we say the name of that guy that told you basically go F yourself?
You can if you want. I mean, he's just a brain dead idiot.
Brainwashed idiot.
Brainwashed. No, dude, he's got his head is dumb. I mean, he's just an arrogant idiot. Is all he is.
You'd be amazed at how uneducated people are.
I mean,
a PUD.
He's just a FUD.
Yeah, a PUD is something that we used to have years and years ago, and the term's been lost. But you know what PUD a PUD is, right? Pretentious, undereducated dick.
Yep. That's him. That is 100% him. I mean, to put a video like that and then say it's great advertising and I don't accommodate or whatever to anti-hunters, it's just like, dude, you don't even live out west. You don't know anything about what's going on. You just don't care. Nothing. You're just an idiot.
Well, I had someone ask me, and I just sent it to him. After 2 months, they couldn't find it. They called her line from the Oregon coast and put it in a high fence area in Idaho. After 2 months, they couldn't find it.
Huh.
The Jaguars aren't just coming up to see what all the illegals are coming for. Maybe they are. Maybe they're following the illegals.
Maybe.
Preying on them.
They got to get their cocaine fixed.
Well, that's one of the reasons they don't want to do some of those walls in those wildlife corridors. Because then the wildlife can't get back and forth.
Not to be anti-fucking wall, but there's a couple canyons that go right into Mexico, and they're hot spots for lions.
I wonder how many lions Mexico has. You think they're packed full of lions down there? How many lions Mexico has?
Oh, Mexico is jam full. It is jam full of lions in Mexico. Now, this is just what I've been told from the Mexicans I work with, because they got ranches in Mexico. But they got a couple hound dogs and stuff. They don't have broke dogs, but when they take their dogs out, they catch javelina, coatimundi, lions. They don't care, but they are catching a lot of lions too. You talk to
and that's not even chasing lions.
No, that's just out hunting with dogs that will run anything. And then you talk to the Mexican outfitters, you know, they shoot a lion every hunt almost, a week or whatever. It seems like. Did I send you that video of this Mexican ranch down there? He was a goose deer, mule deer outfitter in Mexico. He has a whole porch with a shelf on it, all the way up on the shelf of the porch, wraps all the way around the porch. Just nothing but lion heads side by side. there must have been 40 to 60 lion skulls on that shelf.
What are their laws over there for game in Mexico? Do you anybody know?
I know it's like, I don't know about, I know the deer and mule deer and coos deer, like each ranch is allowed a certain amount of tags, but that's all I know. I don't know anything about predators.
So they do tags. They do tags.
Yeah, but I mean, the ranch, they're like landowner tags, not draw or anything. You just go to the ranch and pay your fee, and he gives you a deer tag.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about predators.
We need to find out about that Mexico hunting. I know I've known a couple guys that went down there and took their dogs to run lion.
I wouldn't mind it, but it's just Mayo got arrested in July. I don't know if you know who Mayo is or Mayo, but
No.
he was the leader of the Sinaloa cartel.
Yeah.
And Chapo Guzman's son lured him onto a plane and said, "We're going to go buy some property," and the plane landed in El Paso, Texas. So the Sinaloa cartel down on the border right now is pretty chaotic with the Guzman Sinaloa cartel and the Mayo Sinaloa cartel. They're kind of, the cartel split.
Yeah.
And so things are a little bit crazy. And supposedly what I heard is you don't take a four-wheel drive down there right now because you won't come back with it.
I'll let you know at Thanksgiving.
There you go.
Yeah, Jeremiah's right. The only rule in Mexico is money.
Yep. But, I mean, the guys I work with that speak Spanish and grew up down there and stuff, they go to Mexico every weekend. You know, they leave Thursday night, come back Sunday morning before work starts.
Let's see. Oh, Dandy, anybody can produce a 10-month-old that catches as much as yours, but does it catch as much what it's supposed to catch, or just everything you run? And I've heard you say it catches everything.
Well, isn't a 10-month
Yeah,
pup
catches
supposed
the
to catch everything? Or run everything
well,
at least?
At least run it, I guess.
Yeah, I'd rather have a 10-month pup running everything than not doing nothing.
I have a bunch of 10-month-olds. I have 6-month-olds that will run and catch everything.
Yep.
Everything it sees.
If they're running and catching something, you can show them what they're running and catch. They just got to run and catch at something in the beginning.
Let them be a puppy for a little bit, right, Benny?
Yeah, I let mine be puppies. In fact, for years, my son's beagles started my pups running rabbits. Everybody says, well, then you'll have rabbit dogs. Well, you might have rabbit dogs if it's boring, but if there's a lion to be trailed, they'll quit worrying about the rabbits.
Yep.
Hey, I got a lion hunting question for you guys that have some dry ground experience. The phone call was the guy that bought that the high dollar hound at that Hounds and Mules sale.
Yeah.
And he was wanting to know about my experiences with dogs running lion tracks backwards. I haven't had a whole lot of experience like that. So have you guys experienced that? Jared, you're down there in the dirt.
Does he find the track, the dog trails it forward, and then makes a lose and starts trailing it backwards?
No, he was just talking about he's hunting with some young guy, and this guy is going to be 75 next week, and he's hunting with some younger guy. I don't know how young, but The young guy just doesn't have any patience, and he's always worried about this other guy's dogs are running trash and running backwards and everything else. And he said, but I, first of all, over there where he hunts, there's a lot of rim rock and a lot of, you just can't find a track a lot of the time. And I said, well,
Yeah.
I always hunted where you couldn't find tracks. So yeah, I said, he says, well, I always tease that kid and I tell him, well, I don't have long ears and a long nose. I can't smell what they can smell anyway. And I said, well, there you go. And he said, but I don't know if I've ever had a dog with enough nose, a cold enough nose that could run something backwards. And I said, I don't think it matters if they're cold nosed or hot nosed. A backwards track is a backwards track. But I've known guys that said that every now and then their dogs would go backwards and they'd have to turn them around. But just under normal circumstances, I never had any issues like that.
My dogs would go whatever direction. My dogs will go whatever direction they're facing. If I'm hitting a wash uphill and that lion came down off a ridge, or I'm going up a wash and that lion came down the wash walking to me and took a right or a left, my dogs will hit that track going up the wash and they'll trail him up the wash backwards. And I'll have to look for a track and turn them around.
You think that's because you think if they're on a lot of lion, they'll figure that out?
I don't know. Like you listen to Warner Glenn talk, he's like, my dogs they're going backwards 50% of the time.
So do you think that scent it takes a long time, a long ways for that scent to dissipate once they pick it up? Like,
I've had a jump lion, and the dogs go to trailing like he's 2 days ahead of them for a 200-yard stretch, and then they'll take off screaming again. So the variables in the dirt constantly change with the soil, and you could hit a dry spot, a wet spot, so for a dog to be like, oh man, the scent's getting colder, if we go this way, let's turn it around. That doesn't happen like that because the scent's always changing as you're trailing. You'll hit a wet spot in the wash where it smells great, and they can take it screaming for 100 yards, and then they'll hit a hard sandy spot, and they're back to pecking away at it.
But for them to go backwards, do you think that like it takes a long time before they say it's getting weaker in good condition?
Yeah, I think you'd have to have a constant. You'd have to have a constant trailing condition of everything being the same the whole day for that to happen to, which we hardly get days like that.
How far does that lion walk in a certain amount of time?
Well,
like if he walks a mile in 5 minutes, that's not that track within 5 minutes from start to finish ain't going to be. Let's just say it's really good conditions. That track ain't going to be much more unless he started that track and they trail it a mile, but it took him 5 hours to go that mile.
Yeah.
You understand?
Well, what did Mike Root tell Brett? Let's sit down and have a cup of coffee. Let them dogs do what they're going to do.
Well, and this is he said that he's got a real good little female that just wouldn't give up on this lion, and he said that dog, he just acted like that lion was in the rock pile there somewhere, and that the other guy that was with him says, I'm going to take my dogs and go over here. I'm going to make a big circle. I think that lion's left, and he says, well, why don't we just sit here right here and see what those dogs can do? And I said, so let him take off, but then the problem is if he goes off somewhere and his dogs start howling and carrying on, maybe it'd take some of those other dogs off of the deal. But he said that one female dog of his never did want to leave, And after a little while, he finally caved in, and I said, "Yeah, but you just did your dog an injustice."
Yeah. You know,
Let her figure it out.
yeah. It's like when I was younger, I was hunting with this old timer named Kelly, and he took me under his wing a lot when I first started out. And the dogs caught this lion in a ledge, and we were hiking up to it, and we could hear him, you know, barking trees. And all of a sudden, I had one young dog, he's a year and a half old, just take off barking, gone. I mean, leaving. And he was kind of a loose dog at the time. He wasn't really, you know, sticking to the spot on a bay up or a tree. He was kind of running around 20, 30 yards. And I got mad, and I'm like, that deer running SOB. And the old timer, Kelly, looked at me. He said, can you smell that lion from here? And I was like, no. He's like, then shut up.
Yeah, why do we feed
Well,
the dogs if we want to outguess the dogs that have experience and dogs that have miles? Why do we want to feed them if we're going to outguess them?
Exactly. And the
Well,
dog he
it's like-
bought was made to where for the dog he bought, you shouldn't have to think or question that dog. You should be able to drop that dog and be like, we're hunting lions, and that's what that dog's going to do. And you just don't question that dog.
Where is the dog from?
What?
Where is he at?
Yeah. Well, it's no different than a tool, than a skill saw. Your dogs, you run in that skill saw and it starts binding up, you got to straighten it out so it runs a little smoother, right? You know, the same with the dog. Dog gets out there and gets in a little trouble, you got to straighten him out maybe so he runs a little smoother.
You know, like, I just try to stay out of their way the best I can. I try not to get mad about the monkeys, you know, because I've had monkeys get in my head to, like, I'll be bumping this group of monkeys and I'll be shocking the dogs off of them, and then I'll be like, screw this, let's go to a different canyon, and we'll go right into a different canyon, and they'll blow up and take off, and I'm thinking we're still pushing the same group of monkeys. And one of my buddies, he's a bird dog guy, he'll be like, calm down, just see what they're trailing, and half the time it's a lion.
I just wish somebody would explain to me how they can trail a bobcat backwards in the dirt, knowing how little scent a bobcat leaves. That's what I'm talking about. If they go a mile in a couple minutes from start to finish, that mile is only a couple minute old track for that whole mile. So if they kind of run out and in 15 minutes they cover 5 miles, it's only a 15-minute old track. So how strong is the first part of the track in 15 minutes to the last part of the track? Is it really that much difference?
It depends if that cat's just walking on straight rock. If that cat's rocking on hard, not smooth rock, but the real gravelly rock where it tears some of his pads up, man, the dogs can rip through them. But if they're walking through a hard gravelly rock and then they go to sand and then they go to dead grass and then go back to hard rock again, you're going through 3 different variables in a mile where dead grass and sand will kill a track. I mean, they just don't leave no sense. And then you go to the hard rock again, and he's got that skin tissue on the rock. They can take off and take it screaming again. So if I was that guy, I'd trust that dog. That dog's got more lines than most hound hunters will see in their life.
Is it the dog? But is it the dog he bought, or is it just another dog he has, Benny?
It doesn't matter. Oh, you mean that he's talking about? No, this is a dog that he raised that didn't want to leave the rock pile. But he's up there around Logan, up in Tucumcari area, and it's a lot of rim rock, and it's just a lot of rock. And you can't always see things. and I'm just, I've messed my dogs up. I've cost myself game when I was young and trying to get started. Like told you guys a story on, I think it's on Brett's channel where um, I had my dog that was quite capable on a leash in some summer sheep country where the Spaniards, the herders, had been seeing a lion every day. And I had my dog right there. My dog's trying to go do something. And Felipe says, just turn the son of a bitch you loose. You can't smell that lion. And I said, yeah, but look at all these antelope. I don't want my dog being gone for the rest of my life running antelope because he won't quit. And so I never turned my dog loose. I didn't trust my dog. And that afternoon, a government trapper came in and set a trap and caught a lion right there that night. The lion was right there, all in that country. And I thought, well, that was stupid on me. I can't tell what that lion's doing. I can't smell what that dog's smelling. And once again, if you're going to feed all those dogs, how did you get to be so damn smart to trail?
Well, 90% of it is human error. The other 10% is off game. That's my opinion. We overthink things 90% of the time.
I bet you some of your best hunters don't give a rat's ass about catching something like Mike Roots just goes out there and lets them go because he enjoys being out there in the first place. So I think to be a good hound hunter, you have to enjoy just being outdoors. So I think the better hunter is the guy who wants to be outdoors overnight or one another day or for 10 days because he's going to just let them dogs run, and sooner or later, like that's why they did big circles, right? Try to pick up something. So you're really just trying to bump into something because you're out enjoying being out there, and then like you said, you trust your dog. It's hard to trust your dogs, man. There's a lot of times when I got started and I was coon hunting, them dogs would be in a rock pile or doing something stupid. And I'm like, get over here. And I go check or, I'm like, I had a guy tell me, you should trust that dog. And I went over there and I said, all right, I'll let the dogs go. I go over there and down in a rock pile, there's a coon,
Yep.
I think sometimes you just gotta, it's kind of like a teenager getting their license. Sometimes you just gotta let them drive and close your eyes.
We all get in a hurry. We're always in a hurry.
Who's this?
Hey,
Who's that?
how's everybody doing? Sorry to interrupt.
Anybody recognize that guy?
Is that a firefighter?
Yeah, that's me. Sorry, I lost track of time. I was building dog kennels.
You hadn't got them finished yet?
Oh, no, I like to drag everything out. Make it as long and painful as possible.
He let the wind blow them over and he let the wind blow the walls over and they showed up crooked.
There it is. Yep, that's what happened. So,
howdy,
guys, I'm going to take off. I got to shave and shower and get to bed. 3 o'clock.
All right. You have a good evening.
Sounds good. Thanks, Benny.
See you guys.
Later, Benny.
I got him.
Got him. Rowdy, what's going on?
With the dog being hung up in the rock pile, I'd let that dog sit there all day trying to figure it out.
Yeah, that's the guy who wants to stay out there and hunt. That's a guy who wants his dog to learn, not a guy who wants to kill something or catch something.
You there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we can hear you. Benny must not like Rowdy. Benny don't like anybody, so it don't matter. It don't make him special.
I ran him off. Yeah.
The best hunters don't tune into YouTube. That's probably true too. That's probably true right there.
I never claimed to be a good hunter.
I never in my life have claimed to be a houndsman either. I do my best.
just spent 2 days replacing the flywheel and starter on my dang truck because the starter hung up and chewed up the flywheel.
I seen that. Looks
Yeah.
pretty.
She starts real nice now.
So what have you been up to?
Me?
Other than
Sitting
mechanicking and working on dog pens.
Doing any
Oh,
hunting?
working my life away. I got 2 days of overtime coming up. Then I got 1, maybe 2 days off. See how that plays out. Come back, go back for 3 days, and go on vacation because the wife has a elk hunt here in Nevada. So I'm gonna go try to get her first bull.
Bull or cow?
Bull.
Oh, bull.
Yeah, it's a real good
Been doing
unit
any
too.
scouting?
So no, been way too busy. I'm gonna see if I can't get out there, but it's a 5.5 hour drive just to get there. So
Oh. Yeah, I did that today, round trip over to Paloma. Or not Paloma, Ramona, I think it is. California.
Ramona. Yeah, that's
Ramona?
down there.
Is it Ramona?
Ramona. That's down there, like in the LA suburbs, I believe.
It's way down there. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. I hit California and did 90, and then I got out of California at 90. And hit Arizona and did 75.
There you go. What'd you have to go out there for? Work?
No, my son bought a truck. We threw a trailer on and left at 1 this morning.
Mm.
Got out there about 6. Got back home about 2 or 3.
Oh, that ain't too bad.
No, just makes for a long day.
Yeah, sure does.
Yep.
Was the truck worth it?
It's a 4-door Dodge Dually from the 70s. So,
Oh,
hey, I thought you ran Jared off. I thought you just ran Jared off too.
yeah. He don't like seeing my face.
That's right.
You got a lot of wind down there, Jared?
Dude, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, we were bad a few days ago. Robert, the man from the snow, 10,000 feet.
We're getting it today too. Not a lot,
Nice.
but a little bit.
Yeah.
That's rough.
And your
I don't
lion
like
season
it.
don't open for another month, does it?
November 24th. I'm still bear hunting. I just got back from bear hunting today. So.
Any luck?
Oh, man.
I found some tracks, but the snow is spotty, so tracking them didn't work too good. If we could use dogs, it'd be fun, but we don't get to in Colorado.
I don't get that. How you can use dogs on lions and not bears. Bears are harder. Like, I have a guy, a friend of mine, and we argue about this all the time. And he would get mad because not mad. He just said, I don't want to run bears with dogs. It's not fair. I said, you ran a lion with a dog. Yeah, but it's a lion. I said, I'm more afraid of them bears and them lions killing my dogs and outrunning my dogs. But he would go hunting on the res over a bait barrel. I said, how the hell are you saying dogs and bears are unfair? And you're over there on a bait barrel? I said, that's chicken shit in my book.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, those definitely are the two best ways to hunt them, baits and using hounds. But we don't get to use either one of those in Colorado, so.
Just spot and stock?
The spot and stock.
I'd always just like to sit and watch big piles and see how bears act. I've seen the videos, man. They look goofy as heck when they're on a bait pile.
Yeah.
I think my favorite video my favorite video on the bait piles is when that big bear comes in, runs that little bear off, and it runs right up the tree that the guy's in.
Right into the stand, yeah.
Right into his stand, right into his lap. You know what's crazy? Those bears, they don't know what to do. They just sniff around and they'd rather deal with that human than that other big bear.
Well, that big bear's gonna put the whooping on them, you know.
Our bears die of car wrecks and diabetes. So
Diabetes.
Don't they have a gummy bear where they make gummy bears up in Canada or somewhere, Colombia? And they'll sweep up all the stuff on the floor, and that's what they use for bait.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I
I
haven't heard
don't.
anything about it.
I know, like,
I know.
there's a bunch of like I want to say there's cereal factories that will give old cereal away, and you can buy it, and they'll use that for bear bait.
I knew a guy who would bring me 55 gallons of dog food for $50, and it was all the stuff they swept up on the floors at a Prina plant. So, and I always have, like right now, man, I'm overrun with meat. My cousin, he's a rancher, and they just took 2 steers in, so he brought me all his old meat, and he's like, "This is old meat, tomahawks and big T-bones and roast and all kinds of stuff." So he had a freezer open up for 2 days too.
Ooh.
So it's probably not exactly bad meat up here, but you know me, I'll can it and eat it. But
now we know.
So my dogs are eating really good right now.
No, hey Robert,
Yeah.
now we know what those tacos are made out of.
Yeah, he just, it was good anyway.
You know, I just opened.
They were.
I just opened a 24 can of beef, and it opened kind of easy. It still kind of went doop, but I didn't really have to peel it like you should have to peel it. So I gave my wife those tacos first. Waited 30 minutes.
Oh man.
I think I was more scared to eat 2024 meat than I have been to eat 2010.
Yeah.
So
But I'd rather eat that than McDonald's, anyways.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, at least you know what that is.
Yeah,
Yep.
Or
Well,
what
maybe-
Chris says it was.
yeah, what he says it is.
hey, sometimes I can't read the cap, and it's either beef or bear. So I try to read it the best I can and rewrite it when it gets old. But I probably should eat it before the permanent marker wears off, right?
Yeah.
Or just faded out. Not even wore off.
Yep.
But speaking of baiting, did you ever see that episode of with Clay Newcomb where they were hunting bears in the bear bait, and the bear walked like 5 feet from them?
I haven't watched it.
When he's inside his little shelter.
Yeah, he's got like one of those holes in the ground that they hunt out of.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
him and
didn't that bear like
Stick his head in the
sniff his arrow? Or
yeah, that's
Yeah.
fucking crazy. This is too close.
Yeah.
Well, I filmed one
I
the
would-
other day. I was asleep in a grain cart. I woke him up, and I'm 4 foot from him, just shining the GoPro on him. And he goes, "Oh!" Of course, there's 6 dogs under him, and he didn't know where to go.
I had one of my dogs. We ran a lion, and it went up over the top of the mountain, went right over a bear den. And by the time we got there, that bear, it wasn't completely awake, but it grabbed one of my dogs and had it in the bear den with it.
Oh shit.
But when we showed up, it kept wanting to hide its head. So when it turned, I reached in and grabbed my dog, ripped him out of there.
Dog all right?
He had 64 stitches, but he lived.
Jeez, poor thing.
Yeah. Luckily, the dog played dead in there. Like when we showed up, I thought he was dead, and then he just eased his head up, looked at us, and was like, "Get me out of here."
Probably thought he was gonna die.
Yeah.
That's when grit becomes intelligence, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the link. What's the link? Oh, that's the link. Maybe he sent it to me. Maybe he sent me a link to that bear climbing video. He likes to send me stuff. I'm not seeing it. Anyway, Rowdy, we were talking about whiny baby hunters who like to pout when you tell them not to show stuff. What do you think?
Oh, Yeah, people get all butthurt about that, but they do show some stupid stuff, like dogs getting ate up, or I'm even of the mindset of don't show them falling out of the tree, you know,
Yeah.
after you shoot them, because the anti-hunters, they just take that stuff and it's just fuel for them.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's well, like that picture that Jared sent us, you know. I don't think so much the dogs getting beat up is as bad because they hate hounds anyways, most of the antis. It's the they still use it, get me wrong, but it's the lions that get shot on the ground and they're still fighting. Or I just seen a video someone posted where they shot the lion, it jumps out of the tree and takes off running, and all the dogs chase it. And I guarantee you they'll play that somewhere.
Yep.
I actually called an anti-hunter out on a video they shared. They're all, how is this ethical to hunting lions? And it was, they had a lion in a tree. One shot, that lion's tail snapped straight. The lion tipped out of the tree and hit the ground dead. I mean, that lion was dead before it hit the ground. And then it hit the ground, slid down the snow. One dog rode the lion down in the snow, and his tail was wagging the whole time.
Yeah.
And I just commented, I'm like, what is wrong with that video? I was like, the lion was dead within half a second before it hit the ground. That lion didn't even know what happened. He went out the best way anything could go out.
Right.
He didn't feel any pain. He didn't suffer. The last thing he saw was 4 dogs barking at him, and then the light shut off.
Yeah.
That is way better than dying, starving to death, or freezing to death because you don't have the strength to eat or go find food.
That's a rough way to go, man. That's the way Mother Nature works. Either starvation, disease, or you die fighting with somebody else or something else, you know? Those are the 3 most common ways. And then you get the weird ones, you know, they impale themselves, chasing stuff, fall off rocks, whatever. But the 3 most common things are disease, starvation, and dying while fighting.
You know, just like I don't hunt, you know, or, you know, like I don't hunt elk country, but how many lions get kicked in the mouth by a cow elk?
Yeah, and then they can't hunt because their jaws broke.
Yeah.
And they just starve to death.
Or the male's getting a furious fight, you know, and he gets injured.
Yeah.
Yep.
That last time I killed, he had this scar on his back that was about 6 inches long and about 2 inches wide. I don't know what caused it, but it's a pretty good scar down the middle of his back.
Either another lion or he found him a big buck sleeping by himself.
I don't know. It's about, maybe not 2 inches wide, about 1.5 inches wide.
I think a girl, she commented on one of those sighting pages and said something about, I said, well, why don't we outlaw all cars and roads? And I said, there's just as many lions and stuff killed, deer and bear and on these roads. Why aren't we worrying about that? I'd like to know the stats on how many lions are actually killed on a road. And you don't even know how accurate that is, because how many people have hit something and just kept going. They thought it was a coyote, you know?
Yeah. Well, my wife saw a big tom dead on I-80 last summer, June-ish, July, I think. So there's got to be quite a few.
Chris, that guy you and Jared was talking about that posted the dead lion, that guy is trying to sell lion hunt, thinking that Colorado is going to lose it, and he walks away with the money. You know, unfortunately, there's people who are in it for the money. It's legal, just like spot and stalking is legal. You know.
Yep.
And that's just how it is. But I don't like it. You know, I don't like those guys, out of state guys. Jared's gonna get mad at me, but Jared don't come in and whack everything either.
Yeah.
You know, those out of state guys come in a week and shut a unit down, and they're for the money, and that's it. And I don't like it, but it don't mean I'm gonna go to Game and Fish or go get a ballot initiative saying no more out of state hunting, guiding.
Yeah.
You know, so all I'll do is bitch about it. The problem is the antis, they don't like it, and they take it just to the extreme because they don't like it.
Yeah.
Well, they were using that guy as an example, saying a non-resident of Colorado is killing all Colorado lions.
That's still pretty hypocritical of them. Where'd all their money come from? Out of state.
Mm-hmm.
This cat organization.
Yeah.
About every bit of money they got did not come from this state.
Correct.
No, and you got to remember too that these voters and these signatures, they're not all anti-hunters.
No.
You know, the signatures, some of those signatures are people who are like, oh, that sounds good because they feel a good speech.
Yeah.
Some of these signatures are, Jesus, get away from me. Here's my signature. You know, and some of them are an anti-hunter, but I don't think most of them are anti-hunters. I don't think most of your people that go to the voting booth, I think there's not a lot of anti-hunters, but it's easy to get a non-hunter to vote your way.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I think if you probably took the percentage of anti-hunters to hunters, it's probably pretty close. What is it? What's the percentage of hunters in the United States? Was it like 17% or 13% or?
I've heard different things. I've heard 7%. I've heard 12%. I've heard 10%. You know, but I think it's probably around 7%. And then it's the same thing, 7% that anti-hunters, and then the other 84%, 86% are in the middle. You know,
I'm gonna say it's probably higher. Because just in the state of Illinois, I think they had. I always use that argument that everybody was like, "Hey, China's going to take us over Russia." I said, just the state of Illinois, there was over 100,000 people that put in for a deer tag in Illinois, a Democratic state.
Yeah,
you know, a very probably anti-state on everything. That's 100. That's 100,000 people that have guns. I always made that argument. Like, we have an army just in that little tiny state, and that's only in one state, right? So, but that's 100,000 hunters in the state of. And that's just people who put in for. How many times have you said, I'm not going to put in, or I forgot to put in, or I'm going to do the counter hunt. So I bet you that the number of hunters is probably more than an anti-hunter. The problem is that the anti-hunters, their group of 10 is going to get 50,000 signatures.
They're better organized.
Yeah,
that's the way.
I don't know if they're organized. They're just better talking points. They're proactive, is what they are.
They're proactive, but they also they hire people that are, trained signature gatherers, right? So they also hired in Colorado, they hadn't got like 20,000 votes in the first, I don't know, the first half of the period for signatures, and then they realized they weren't going to get them, so then they hired people coming in from out of state. I forget how many people they hired, but they hired a bunch of signature gatherers, and they came in and they just carpeted the entire freaking state.
Yeah.
Well, I say the entire state, mostly like the Denver area, but that's where the populace is.
And that's why Arizona people need to vote yes on the 134. And I believe we know they're coming this way, and that's why 134 is being voted on.
Yeah.
134. And that's to keep those guys from just going to one county getting 1 million signatures. Because even if they just go to one county and get 1 million signatures, that next county over don't get nothing. They're not going to do it. And I think that's about as checks and balances and as fair as you can get.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think every state should do that.
It gives the small towns a vote. It gives the small towns a vote.
It gives the urban areas or the rural areas a chance to shut down some of the, because a lot of the people in the city, I mean, how many people have you said, do you hunt? And they say, well, I used to as a kid, you know.
It seems to me it'd be more of a fair process if it was, all right, if you want to ban something, you can ban it in your county, right? So if you know, use Colorado for example, the Denver area, right? So that's where all the population is. All right, so if that's where all the signatures for banning the hunting is, ban it in that area where all those signatures are coming from, not from the entire state. I mean, that would be a happy medium, I think, but then they would still be able to say, hey, let's all move over to this county and, you know, flood that. And we'll be able to get this county, you know, whichever counties have the, you know, close to equal amount of votes, but still wouldn't go their way. So if they moved, you know, 5,000 people over into that county or whatever, and they would be able to sway the vote on that side, or the, not sway the vote, but get initiatives passed in that county kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's just what they do. They take those big number areas, and that's what they want to do. You know, and he said, Trevin said, go back and listen to the Houndsman XP podcast with the guy that used to work for Jesus. I know a guy that did work for Jesus. I don't think I can get him to come on and tell the story, but it's a good story. It's a good story where I don't even know if I can bring a lot of it up, but he sure gave that Jesus a good run. He put a hurt to him, I'll tell you that, in Arizona.
Good.
You know, so, and I've been to those Jesus meetings. I couldn't believe the lies they tell. I mean, I absolutely couldn't believe the lies they tell. It's crazy. And I was just being undercover guy, so I couldn't really say nothing. Just shake my head and clap my hands, be like, heck yeah, you know.
Just like that lady on the Mountain Lion Sightings page, she says she's all 127 just means we can't hunt lions with hounds. It doesn't mean we're going to stop lion hunting.
No, it specifically states a prohibition on lion hunting.
Yeah.
They will lie to sway any way they can. Like that jackass that puts their hound hunters trespass all the time.
Yeah.
Have you been out west?
I have never in my life had any issues. Even over here in 3B, I had my dogs go into a private property and they always have their gate shut and they were laying in their yard. My dogs were in her yard. She opened the gate because she knew I was going to come. I came in. She waved at me through the window. I picked up my dogs. I left. It's way different back east when there's everything's private property.
Well,
and a lot of the trespassing is because someone has that lease that they're paying for and someone else got on it, so they get mad.
Well, my dogs can't read.
Yeah.
They're illiterate. I'm sorry.
And if they trespass and you go on there and like, hey, sorry, you pull your dogs, and they do it again the next night and the next night, they're probably doing it on purpose. You know, but
yeah,
it's like a bad apple. There's always one bad apple that can ruin the bushel.
Yeah.
So I just think we got to be careful. I think these people that are posting this stuff, especially in Arizona, because they have people, and that's all those antis do is sit around and they collect those videos. And
yeah, well, 90% of them are old, freaking crippled, geriatric. You know, all they do is sit at home and play on the computer.
Yep, and argue. Argue. Or those people that sit at work all day, not do nothing, and argue with the anti-hunter. I'm just saying,
That's
I don't want to say no names. I'm not gonna say anybody who sends screenshots saying I got this one. I got her.
Screenshots instead of links.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Links are a lot easier to follow than having to search for to match a screenshot.
I know.
That's true.
But going on to those sites, and if you can do it intelligently enough where you don't look like an idiot, you're good to go. You know what
That's
I mean?
the big thing. I agree with that. Discussing it and giving them facts instead of just calling them stupid libs and
not for them, for that person that's reading all those comments.
Yeah.
Because that person reading all those comments like, that's pretty cruel. Oh, that's bad. Oh, wait a minute. What do you mean this and this and this? So you may keep that non-hunter at bay and not being an anti-hunter.
Yeah. Just the passerby that stops and reads. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. And then when he starts reading, and if there's a bunch of intelligent comments from hunters, it just looks a lot better. But then and then someone posts a video from 1980s for one, when it was cool to do all that stuff, get drunk, drink and drive, and shoot lions and shoot at signs. Like, that's the old days. And they post that video, and then someone comes on and says, that video's from like 90s, man. Like, it's not even a real video.
That's a 30-year-old video.
And then you get a guy trying to sell a hunt with a lion that you can tell it's been shot with dogs around it. Yeah. It just don't look good. And it's the same thing. It takes that non-hunter, and it can raise that bar. It's easier to make a non-hunter an anti-hunter than it is to make a non-hunter a hunter.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've always said that, and that's just how it is. Like I said, I've told this story before where I took an archery deer hunter who hates hound people, and I ran him in on a bear with us, took him in on a tree, and, in one day, I ran into 3 people, took a guy in, educated an older couple that said, I didn't even know that. I said, I treed, I don't know, like 7 bears in the last month on this mountain. I said, and I didn't kill one of them. And they thought, when you treat them, you killed them.
They all think that. They think that we kill every single thing. And I've told, numerous people, look, we let 90-something% of them go, right? Doesn't matter what it is. We're always letting them go. And then they come up, well, what about coyote hunting? I don't know nothing about coyote hunting with dogs. I don't do it.
Yeah.
Right? Because the whole purpose of the coyote hunting is to kill all the coyotes, right?
No, wait. You don't do it on purpose.
Yeah, not on purpose. Not knowingly.
Yeah. No, I think as hunters in general, we gotta get our shit together. I think as hound hunters.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this thing that Chris Powell's starting, that United Houndsmen. I'm hoping that everybody can get together, and that could be at least like a call to arms. Say, hey, we need to donate to this state because they're doing this or that. It's right now we're all fractioned out, right? So we've got Arizona Houndsman Association, we got Nevada Sporting Dogs Association, and Colorado Houndsmen's Association, right? So, but none of them are linked together other than, hey, we'll share it a little bit on Facebook. But if we can get one big group nationwide that can tie all these groups together and say, hey, send this out to all your people in every state, and to each state, and then say, hey, if each state can give us $100,000 or $10,000 donation for our fight here in this state, and that's what the anti-hunters are doing, but that's what we need to do.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what we need to do, and they're doing it. I think it's going to be a longer road I think it's going to be a long road.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a lot of restructure, and I think they're going to have to do a lot of reaching out,
Yeah. Well, we'll find out in like a week or so how well Colorado goes.
Well, yeah, and I think that's kind of their plan is they're kind of waiting for all this to. They're working on this, and then they had all the flooding back east. I know that was a problem. I think once we get clear of this, if we're not in a civil war by, I don't know, November 6th,
Exactly.
I think, they're going to concentrate on that NHA, National Houndsman Alliance.
Yeah, that's.
But they need to do it right. They need to reach out to every organization in every state and get them on board.
Yeah.
They almost need like an ambassador in the state too.
In each state, yeah. And then that person just goes around and politics. But
Yep.
It's hard when, everybody's got a day job. Everybody's got family. Everybody's got things that they need to do.
Well, it's not hard if you want to pay for it. People have to pay for it. And I keep saying that. Everybody talks about, I'm not in it for the money. No, somebody needs to be paid to do that. There needs to be somebody on that payroll that does that.
Exactly. Yep.
Somebody that can do it. You know what I mean?
And we need somebody that's competent. Like, what's his name there at CRWM? What's his name?
Dan Gates.
Dan Gates. We need 50 of those.
You need one of those for the National Hound Association or Alliance. And that guy needs to be the guy who says, you come to this state, we're coming after you. You need somebody that, when they say their name, oh, Dan Gates is coming on this one. Hey, let's go to Arizona and take their lions. Okay, that's fine. Let's go do it. And they come, and then Dan Gates shows up.
Yeah.
Or the International Houndsman Alliance, whoever. You have to have that fear factor, same as they do.
Absolutely.
Every time they come in, we're like, damn, they're back. Now we got to be proactive on that. And whatever the National Houndsman Alliance, whoever's going to run that as far as basically the enforcer, all these monies that's going to these locals needs to go to there too.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to that time, that's when that guy, let's just say it's Dan Gates, comes into your state and says, you, and you. What do we got?
Yep.
And then we start doing the rallying and getting the money, just like we did for Colorado.
And I think we need to have, he needs to have an apprentice, right? So say he's wanting to retire, right? 5 years before he decides he's going to retire, he needs to get an apprentice and train him.
Just like a pack of dogs, man. You got to have that puppy on the bottom.
Yep.
So I don't know. Hopefully they work out. I voiced my opinion to some of their members, because I'm nosy and I don't care and just kind of tell them what I think. But I think they're aware of what needs to happen. I think people need to, instead of paying $25 a month for Netflix, I think they need to pay $25 a month to the National Hound Alliance or the Arizona Working Dog Alliance or the Nevada, Hound Associate, whatever it is, because there's no reason most of these people can't do $10 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no reason that we can't hire somebody to run around. I'll tell you right now, I'm about the money. I have
Robert needs to sue him for mental anguish.
That's what Robert needs to do. I got to pay $1,500 out of my pocket just to get the AWDA started. By the time everything's done with the IRS, you know what I mean? But if no one else wants to go do it, then they have to pay for it. If people want you, it's like a lawyer. A lawyer represents you. Somebody has to represent all the hunters for one.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody needs to work together. The National Hound Alliance needs to get with the National Sporting Alliance or whoever's up that high, and they need to get with every organization. Like our goal, me and Jared have talked about, is to get hold of everybody. Which reminds me, I got to call that bird dog guy Jared sent me. But same thing. I'm busy all day. You know what I mean? I'm still trying to make a buck on the side. So I can't do my OnlyFans and AWDA all at once.
All you do is take
Get those
pictures of your
hobbit feet
feet.
out there, man. Put some peanut butter on them toes.
I'm gonna have to do something. You know, but people are gonna have to pay so they can sit in their cozy little home, or they can go hunt and not worry about it. While whoever has the time to do it
Yeah,
does
I
it.
agree.
I mean, that's just what I think. I'm willing to pay. You know,
Dude, have you talked to SCI in Phoenix, the Phoenix chapter of SCI?
for one, Dandy, he don't control the money. He's just a spokesperson. So I don't know why people keep thinking Dan just has all this control and goes and spends money and buys lavish gifts for himself.
Yeah, he
And
doesn't
if
have
anybody-
control of any of the money, right? He's not the treasurer.
Nope.
But Chris,
Yeah.
have you gotten a hold of the Phoenix chapter for SCI?
No.
That'd be something.
I haven't done
'cause that's-
nothing. Remember so my neighbor passed away, the one I was helping
yeah.
out. So
Oh shoot.
yeah, so I'm kind of freed up now. I'll be honest with you. Like that worry's off my but
SCI's
So-
came out with lion commercials for 127 recently, like within
Well,
the last couple of days.
I also
I
got to
didn't know
get I also got to get a hold of that guy that came on our meeting. Remember him? Oh, Eddie.
Oh, yep.
That guy's great. You know, that might be the guy for Arizona right there. He has his hands in everything.
Yep.
So
And
and he's willing to help out. So
He's got his shit together.
yep. And the bad thing about this time of year, it's hunting season,
Mm-hmm.
it's holiday season. So and it's an election year.
Yeah.
So nobody spends money. Everybody's out hunting, and everybody's on vacation. So it's a bad time of the year. That's why I'm trying to get all this AWDA stuff started now. First of the year, we hit it. Look at he just thumbs down me. Jeremy just thumbs down to me, son of a bitch.
Right? It's like-
Why did I thumbs down you?
I don't know. I
didn't
think
put
it
my
was your other
thumb-
hand.
Oh, I reached out and touched something because it was crooked.
So I don't know. I think we got to be proactive. You know, I think we got to get people on here and tell their stories. So if these antis are listening, they have good stories because people love stories. You know, even a non-hunter.
Well, you just partying over there, Jeremy.
I know. He made up for the thumbs down.
But no.
It only does it when you don't want it to. Oh, there we go.
There it is.
But that's my theory. I think there needs to be a lot more awareness. I think we should be running commercials in Arizona and New Mexico and Nevada already.
Yeah.
You know, just to get it in people's minds.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, that's the thing. It needs to stay in everybody's mind, even when we don't have something going on.
Easy living for Bradford.
Look, this is Dandy trying to cause trouble. But if Dandy was any kind of intelligent,
If
He
he
was
ever
not
met,
the-
if he ever met Dan Gates, he would know completely.
and how do you know he's the only person in control of money? You don't.
I wonder
You don't.
I wonder
You
if
don't know
Dandy's
nothing
just a
but how to
CATS
type on
member.
the internet.
Do you think Dandy's just a CATS member?
Sometimes, yes, we wondered that.
No, he just all he's doing is trying to get attention like a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
If you could do it better, I posted it on my Facebook. If you guys can do it better, go do it better. I guarantee you can't do it better.
Yep.
Yep.
Guarantee it.
You look like that weirdo Mr. Rogers wearing pajamas talking to
This is a bobcat. Did I send you that, Robert?
That guy.
Didn't I send you that? The Dan Gates, the guy said Dan Gates is a trapper.
No. I sent you that that bedtime story though. How's that? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you sent that to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that the
Oh,
guy with
yeah.
the drawings?
Dude, that's the president of Cats.
Oh, is it? That guy
Yeah.
seems like.
Dude,
I don't.
He
He's a
seems like a
Mr. Rogers
pedophile.
wannabe.
that
He
guy
seems like he freaking diddles little kids.
he showed up at
telling
the
you.
Capitol too.
I
That's
agree.
creepy.
Yeah, that guy showed up at the Capitol when we had our thing down there a couple weeks ago. Our rally at the Capitol.
He had a. Oh,
He was dressed in like Kuyu and all kinds of shit. He's hiding in the back.
That
So
guy.
you know what I'm gonna do? Look, you know what I'm gonna do? Because this goes through my computer and all my stuff.
Dan
gonna
Gates has
find
got me
out.
fooled. I think he's pretty badass.
I'm
Well,
gonna
he
find
brings a
out.
new
Danny can go
perspective
suck a fat
to the
one.
image of a trap.
I'm gonna find out who Dandy Florentine is, and I'm gonna post his address all over the internet.
Yeah.
Does Dandy know what I do?
Go pay him
Dandy
a
don't know
visit.
what I do. Maybe Dandy don't realize what I do.
Or-
I deal with idiots like this, so I'm gonna let him keep posting because all it does is it builds a like a receipt into my data bank. It's really cool.
Danny
And I'm on
probably
my
is a
laptop that I
dandy and
do
likes
my.
dudes.
Well, I'm on my laptop that I do all my PI work on, so it's like a better one.
Just get their IP address.
Oh no, I've already had that. It's okay. It's not hard to backtrace.
Yeah.
Internet's beautiful. And yeah, you're trying to cause trouble. That's all he's ever done. He sits on there and causes trouble. This will probably be the last last time you guys see Dandy on any of our shows. Because he's gonna get blocked. So I don't even think he has dogs, I'll be honest with you. Anyway.
Probably a cat diddler.
Hmm.
He's the. Well, what was that movie where they talked about the guy walked around with a dog in his arm and he had the finger in the butt? That's probably what Dandy does with his cats.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Oh,
say
boy.
that about the cats guy. I was like, he touches them.
Oh, that guy's creepy.
Yeah.
Real creepy. Old Tom kills a kitten. Richard, fight.
He is right there.
Yeah.
He's living off you. I don't want anything. Yeah, you do. You want to just run your mouth. You're not even a good welder.
Dang, shooting low tonight.
Some people just like the attention. It's like a 3-year-old that says, "Mom, mom, mom, mom."
Mommy, mama,
Yeah.
ma.
This probably
I
turned to a
forgot what I was gonna
podcast.
say.
This would probably be turned into a podcast. So everybody listening, there's just a guy here that loves to type. Loves to type. You can't spell very
He's pretty
good.
quick,
Or don't have
too.
very good punctuation, but he loves to
Pretty
type.
quick.
Yeah.
You guys look at that link I sent you, Chris. The Monument of Light. So they want to start a new national monument in California that runs essentially from the Kings Canyon and spans from the Kings Canyon National Park to Yosemite National Park. And essentially it's 1.3 million acres. They'll decommission roads. No, it's a lot like a wilderness. They're just going to shut it down. You can't go in there except for on foot, and it's a bad deal if they can get it passed. My buddy said that they've got the bill sitting on Biden's desk right now, so all he has to do is sign it in the next 60 days.
Well,
And
What-
the monument, I don't even think you can hunt in monuments, national monuments.
No, you can't.
He's not even competent to sign a paper. What the hell?
No, but somebody will sign it.
what state is that in?
That's in California.
They need to. You know what? I go through California today. I'm like, God dang, man, it's such a beautiful country over here. And I said, there's nothing wrong with California, but the politics.
Really, and that's what it is. Because California is the most diverse state in the nation. You can go from Mount Whitney at 14,500 foot to ocean in about 6 hours. You can ski one morning and be at the beach that evening. You can friggin' go trout fishing. It's got the highest bear population density right now in the nation, or black bears in the world, I think, or no, second highest. I think Alaska's higher, right? Or something. BC maybe has a spot that's higher. It could have great deer hunting if the frickin' predators were managed. It's got just some of the best timber country in the world for logging. Got the largest gold deposits and I think in North America or in the continuous U.S. There's just so much to California. If it wasn't for all the damn libs there ruining everything.
Yeah,
Too many opinionated people.
And the problem is the people that move out don't want to stay and fix it.
Yeah.
And then when they do move out, this is just a common fact every time, and it's said all the time, is then they get over in another state and they start trying to run it like they did before because they don't like this or this.
Yeah.
But, when you take away the air and you get a flat tire, you're not going to be able to air up a flat tire. And then once they're all flat, you can't just get another car. They move away, and then they outlaw air again in another state. It's just stupid. I don't get it. And I did ban Dandy. I put him in timeout.
Timeout?
It says timeout. You can put someone in timeout. Put user in timeout. And it said, when I did that, it said, Dandy Floor Time was banned and their comments were removed. And then I looked at all the comments, and there had to be 300 comments from him. That guy's annoying. I don't know who it is, but he's been trying to get my goat, and I've been real patient, but now I'm just like, you're dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me a thumbs down, I guess. I don't care. Anyway. Oh, there you go.
Oh, doubles? Let's see if I can do doubles.
Are you on an iPhone?
You got to get right in the middle.
Let me see. Pull my sleeves up. Maybe.
Uh-oh. No.
There it is.
There it is. Well. Yeah. Mike Rich, it's about time. So, someone else already someone else already blocked them on here.
Oh shoot.
Listen, man, I don't like banning people block. They can say their opinion, but sometimes they're just stupid. Yeah. And if you're stupid, we'll put up with you for a little bit, and then we'll make fun of you, and then we'll kick you off.
My buddy's dad always told us when we were in high school, he's all, everyone already thinks you're an idiot. You don't have to open your mouth and prove it.
Exactly. Yeah, right? It took me a long time to learn that one.
Well, guys, I think we're going to cut early. I've been up since 1, and cool. I think I got to get up at about 3 and head back up the mountain.
Son of a gun.
You better get you a little bit of a nap.
I think we talked enough crap about everybody. So,
yep.
But
don't
be
have
proactive. Be proactive.
Always.
All right.
Go talk to an anti.
Yeah. Politely. Be polite, be courteous, spit facts, not slurs,
Yep.
And don't post bloody dead animals.
And I'll probably get a bunch of messages, but don't be an idiot posting kill shots and it's cool. Yeah, we like it.
Send it to your friends. Don't put it on Facebook or YouTube.
My God. That's just idiot. And I see a lot of guides. Doing it. But you can save those pictures or those videos to send to a client. You already have clients. Obviously, you're making a video.
Yeah.
That client can send it to his buddy and say, check this out.
All you have to do is when a client asks for a video, because they always do, they want to see the country and they want to see everything. Send the video then. That's what I do. I don't post nothing.
Don't share the
Oh, man.
hate stuff either, because
I guess timeout didn't last long.
even to your friends. That's
Who's
how
that?
they get popular. That's
Oh.
how they get
That's
talked
Jared's
about.
other half.
Oh, is
Yeah.
that Sarah talking?
Yeah, that's Sarah saying don't share the anti-hunting videos because that's how they get more popular on the algorithm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's it, too. You know, that's the problem with sharing some of that stuff, too. That's why I didn't want to share Mr. Rogers, Diddler guy, because I didn't want it to get. But I did see, did you guys read the comments on that? A lot of guys jumped on there and left some comments. So
It's been a while. I think I was posting on there yesterday, and then I think I even put on there this morning, showed the screenshot of the Denver Post,
yeah,
coming out against the Prop 127.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw where you shared that.
yep.
Alrighty,
All
well, I'm
right,
gonna go
good.
eat some dinner. Good seeing you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir. Jeremy, thanks for coming on. Rowdy, thanks for taking a little time for us this time.
Sorry, I
Mark.
completely lost track of time. I forgot what day it was. So
That's all right. Jared jumped on late because of his first wife.
It's true.
She was hogging the phone.
yeah.
Yep. Someone's got to go make money for me.
Robert decided to jump on after he figured out the technology.
Yeah. It wouldn't load on my iPad for some reason.
Huh.
But I had to wait till I got back from bear hunting anyway.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, thanks, guys, for coming on. I will
You
see
bet.
you guys
You
We'll
guys
next
talk to you
Good
guys
night.
later.
See ya.
Alrighty. Later.
See ya.
All right. If you guys want to get anybody in Arizona, you need to look up the Proposition 134 and vote yes on it, because that could help us out on the ballot initiatives that are coming up. If you got any ideas for a video or if you have any ideas for a guest or a subject, send me an email, anecdoteofahoundsman@outlook.com. For you guys that are listening to this on a podcast, you can check us out on YouTube, Anecdote of a Houndsman channel. Every Wednesday night, we're live. Thanks all you guys for coming on. Thanks, Dandy, for your input, entertainment. And I will see you guys next week. And if anybody's interested in the Arizona Working Dog Alliance, go to azwda.com. I think I got a little form on there you can fill out. Once we get it all going, I'll get in touch with you guys. Have a good night. Remember to stay safe out there and always keep your powder dry.